here I am, Sister Bertilla. Carissimi, dear friends, sorry because being Italian, Italian comes very much on the line more than the English. Okay, dear friends, I am really very happy to have here Roberta and Paola. They have come to see our children, to see our center, to see our work here in Vimala. Really, we are happy to have them here because when they are coming here, they will bring part of you because wherever you go, we will bring part of our presence in a place wherever you go. So they are here in our Vimala center where you have a good number of girls here and the leprosy patients that we are taking care. We are really, in the name of all, we are really to thank you very much for all that you are doing for us. Wish you all the best and may God bless you.
Brazil is the birthplace of the bossa nova, which when translated means new beginnings. So what better place for a charity event than right here? From Brazil's Aerodromo Jose Carlos Pache, let's do it one more time, the Formula Giving Race for Vimala. And you can see all the simulated Dallara Formula 3 action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens right here on the Global SimRacing Channel, with the rhythms of Sergio Mendes now in the backs of our minds and the soles of our feet. Hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Jose and Pohaka will be sharing the mic with me today. I am Sean Ambrose and we're bringing you this Formula 3 action from Sao Paulo, Brazil today. I'm Jed Yaman back there twisting and tweaking the dials for us, armed with cameras, locked, loaded, and prepared by the great Dougie Beard. Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache is a 2.7 mile long circuit located just on the outskirts of Sao Paulo. And other than a period between 78 through 89, Interlagos has been the home to the Brazilian Grand Prix since 1973. It is among the few major international circuits today that run counterclockwise. And while the track received a $15 million revamp back in just before 1990, many of the original corners were actually left here. And for a better look, though, at this amazing circuit, let's head to our GSRC track preview.
Welcome to Autodromo's Jose Carlos Pache. Most fans and drivers simply know this place as Interlagos. Starting life as an absolute behemoth of a circuit, this Brazilian track was eventually truncated to the version you see today. Having hosted Formula One for roughly 3 decades, it's become very well known on the international stage. But it has also held rounds in the World Endurance Championship, as well as frequently seen Brazilian stock cars, motorcycles, and even truck racing. There's little difference between its two layouts, which includes the GP course and the Moto course, which simply adds a chicane to the end of the lap. In both cases, it's a tale of two circuits. The run past the start-finish line and into the Senna S, followed by the blast towards the Descida do Lago, are very high-speed sections that come back-to-back. Drivers will need to focus on top end in order to attack or defend. Expect most passes to happen in those two corners. But from Ferradura until Junção, the track suddenly twists itself into a mess of hairpins and frustratingly technical turns. This can make car setup a real compromise, and for the latter part of the lap, an absolute pain when dealing with traffic. Pit exit is also a narrow affair, so it requires drivers to take care when trying to maximize their outlaps. On the upside, with this being a modern F1 track, there's paved runoff in abundance at many of the fast corners. The passion of the Brazilian fans always comes out in force at races, and it's no wonder with this picturesque track sandwiched right amongst the neighborhoods of Sao Paulo.
So, from the Senna S all the way to Junção, this track is very technical indeed. And then we have that long main straight. It's a track of two natures. It's a track where long straights are combined with twisty, tight, technical sections. and it is a true test of drivers' tactical ability and drivers' ability to adapt to each and every condition the tricky Brazilian nature could throw at you. And they have to do it all throughout the evening. Sean, you have the race details in front of you and tell us about the race and what we will have in store for us today.
All right, thank you, Aussie. And today we are, of course, running this Delora F3 car. Just came to iRacing here earlier in the year. Today's race will be 30 laps, probably close to about 45 minutes. It's an open setup on the car, so the drivers have actually been preparing all week since their entry into this event to get ready for this one. It should be exciting. Now, they're going to have max fuel, so pit stop really not going to come into play in this one unless, of course, you get that new damage that is going to be very apparent on the Formula 3 car today as we watch along. You do get one fast repair, so you got a spare car back there in the garage if you need it. Here's the big part of today's race. There's up over $1,100 in cash and prizes available today, and why we're here? Well, this is the formula giving race for Vimala, and this charity event at sim racers from all over the world raise donations for children in Mumbai by competing on virtual tracks using, of course, the iRacing service. And there is a link in the description of the broadcast where you can donate to the cause. And Sister Bertilla got us started here and the kids by saying thank you to everybody here at iRacing for being part of this event for Ghent. But Sister Bertilla, her efforts are legendary over there. She rides through the slums of Mumbai with her bike looking for and trying to cure and help people with leprosy. And addition to that, she takes care of kids starting from 3 to 4 years old and who are generally parents of orphans of people who've had sickness or leprosy, and provides food and education. And she takes them all to the Vimala Center, and that's where the donations are being raised to help, and hence the name of the race. But great cause we're all racing for here today. Like I said, about $1,100 in prizes available. iRacing's put forth some money, providing iRacing credits and cash to be donated to the cause there in Vimala. VRS has generously put some donations forward. I think about 600 euros, providing a matching donation to the Race for Vimala fundraising efforts. And Heusinkveld has also donated a set of their high quality pedals that are going to be auctioned off, and of course those donations go to again, the Race for Vimala cause. But us in, we got to talk about qualifying. Only about 5 minutes left. A lot of drivers registered for this race, and Chris Lullum right now is at the top of the board with a 1:26.5, which is honestly one of the quickest times we've seen even in practice.
Indeed it is, and he has an interesting background. You talked about giving these kids a future. That is absolutely crucial to those people, giving those kids a future, donate to a good cause. But we also have a lot of drivers of the future in this race, something I noticed. Chris Lollam, of course, this year has done British Formula 4 testing, done the Silverstone race, round number 9 of the championship, has done karting in the past, and started iRacing just in the February of this year, so less than a year of experience under his belt, but already 6,200 iRating, already in a very good pace. And
Yes.
a lot of other drivers as well in this field who have real life racing experience. You got Johnny Edgar, Red Bull Junior, you got Elias Seppänen, does Formula 4 in Finland. And of course, you got iRacing Grand Prix Series experience from, for example, Niklas Rasmussen. So you got a really tough field out here today. And Chris Lollam, I gotta tell you what, only driver so far to go under 126. That is an achievement. Let's see if anyone can beat him.
He just came across in the draft for another lap. Oh, and he spins it there into the quarter. But no, that was not as fastest lap, that last one. It remains at a 1:25.9. But Nick Rasmussen right there as well with a 1:26.1. So almost eclipsing that 1:26 bear. There's Stefan Herman on screen right now. He currently holds third.
Yeah, he just improved to 1:26.250, improving his previous best lap by a little bit, so he is on an upward trend. Now, the weather is getting slightly hotter. It's now 18 degrees Celsius, 19 degrees track temp. It is, of course, very early in the morning, so it will only get hotter. So these times will perhaps not be quite as comparable as they normally would be in terms of what these drivers will do in race conditions, but they will give a good indicator. Now, if it does get much hotter, of course, Sean, that means a lot of adjustments to the setup and especially the wing angles.
Yeah, indeed. And I was just thinking about that. I'm glad you brought that up, that we've started so early in the morning here. We're definitely going to see the track conditions change. And obviously, the amount of grip on the car with that will change. And these times will appear a lot different in race pace as this goes on. But right now, a healthy field of over they wanted 60 drivers, and right now, as I see it, we've got 55. So I think we're close enough as we see Clark Williams make his way around over there. But all 55, where I'm seeing 53 out for a time right now, 54 out for a time here on track with only 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and I think a good suggestion would be to follow Johnny Edgar right now. Of course, we know of his experience, car number 18, in P number 13 right now, but he has a fast driver in front of him as well. Mike Paluch, of course, he is known as a very fast driver, and he actually pulls over right in front of him, so it will be interesting to see what Johnny can do here on his final couple of minutes of qualifying. Now, one more fast lap after this for these guys, and it's very, very tight and very close in that mid pack. Just would you look at the times, Sean, from P number 4 all the way down to like P number 20? They are all within half a second.
Yeah,
half a second.
Yeah, it literally mere thousands separating a few of them. It is absolutely crazy. That is the competitive part of the field right now for qualifying. And a good qualifying effort going to be very, very, very important here in Sao Paulo. And again, qualifying just about closing. Drivers making their way across the line now are going to be on their last lap as we follow Johnny Edgar and see what kind of improvement he can pick up here. Up the Decidos dos boxes.
It looks decent so far. Let's see what Johnny can do. And he also will have just half a minute on the clock to get that final lap in. He crosses the line now at 235 km an hour, 126.7. So didn't quite improve, was less than 10th of a second off that. Can I just mention, we talked about tight times. Johnny Edgar is actually tied with Clark Williams right now. They are on the exactly the same millisecond. So that's just insane.
Here's the Scandinavian driver here, Nick Rasmussen, going around for what is going to be his last lap as the timer has just run out on qualifying. The checkered flag is out.
It is indeed. Will be interesting to see if Nick can improve on his last lap here.
Climbing the hill. Right there on the rumble strips. Past the pit box here. Entry real tight.
Let's see. No, didn't have improvement on that final lap. So P2 for the Danish driver, Nick Rasmussen. Will be interesting to see if he can climb up from there in race conditions. Do we have other drivers, interesting drivers still on track right now, Sean? There are a couple still going around the track. Most interestingly, perhaps Dave Martin. He is coming right now to the line, car number 42. He is in P number 12 right now. And you will be happy because that's a name you can pronounce. Oh, he's just pulled over.
Dave decides to pull off. It looked like he had a flyer going too. That's a shame. Let's see. I see the 91 coming through here. This is Giovanni Siletto. That doesn't look like that's going to be his fastest one. He does currently sit back there. There's Raika.
Oh, Elias Raika just improved. Yeah, number 88, P number 14.
And where thousands can be important. That was a good run. Here comes Luca Verani. This is going to be a flyer for him. Oh, and he does improve. Look at that. Almost 200ths of a second there. 2/10 of a second. I'm sorry. That my bad.
And Rasmussen is still on track. Niklas Rasmussen as well. I think this is no, he pulls over
Yeah.
just getting a feeler lap, and a lot of drivers do that, and I believe that's all she wrote for qualifying.
Which means we should probably get to the grid just as quick as we can here. We've got a deep field. We're going to roll through it quickly. Chris Lolum is going to get the pole. Nicholas Rasmussen second. Row 2, Stefan Herman and Michi Kaiser. Row 3, Fabian Siegman and Dennis Wedeking. Row 4, Alexander Rain and Luke Barton. Row 5, Massimo Locatello and Jose Soria.
Row number 6, David Soranzo, Dave Martin. Row number 7, Mike Paluch, Elias Raika. Row number 8, Johnny Edgar, Clark Williams. Row number 9, Elias Seppänen and Filippo Volpe. And row number 10, it's Julian Kleinbussing and Guillaume Deflandre.
Ivan Zerano in row 11, Luca Pirani. Nicholas Lorito, I'm sorry, Urka Lindstrom, an old friend of ours. Row 13, Stuart Milne, Callum Wright. Row 14, Ben White, Loic Barbie. Row 15, Olivia Barrera and Angelo Mele.
And we still have time for 10 more, I think, with Elliot Smith, Kristen Johnson, Giovanni Salito, Andrew Flint, Florian Bunchuk, Massimiliano Pesavento, Frank Mutze, Jean-François Mate, Tom Wallstra, and Zoltan Somotor, positions from 30 to 40.
James Hall, Yuri Bozier, Alec Dixon, Jose Manuel Cansado Gil. Row 23rd, Richard Stone, Klaus Guger. Row 24, Ingo Biny, Adam Teisma, Zoltan Palavis, Saren Eriksson in 50th, Blake Pullen, Emika, Yua Zurike, Jeff Browning, Lance Simon, and Ryan Turif round out the 55 cars in his field. Just a few seconds here left. The engines start to roar on the Dallara F3 here in Interlagos. The race for Vimala about to get underway. An extremely big grid as they line up, get ready to go. We're about to drop the flag here in Sao Paulo.
Tension mounting, I tell you, my heart is beating.
Yes. And the lights get ready to go up. We wait for the start of this race, and the lights are mean green, and we're underway here at Jose Carlos Pace in Sao Paulo, Brazil. They make the mad scramble almost 4 wide down into turn 1. Chris Lolum gets away clean. Nicholas Rasmussen behind him, but the battle just behind them. Kaiser, Herman, Wedeking, all in a knot.
Only couple of cars around in the back of the field, otherwise it's surprisingly clean in the first couple of corners. And back for that lead battle, I think, because just a couple of drivers around, it was very clean.
Oh, and we got trouble just behind. It looks like it was David Soranzo goes around in the middle of the field. Couple of cars will keep it up front. Lolum continues to pull away. It's Rasmussen now that has to watch out for Kaiser, who seems to have pace. Kaiser has left Wedeking in a fight with Siegman and Herman. Herman taking Siegman.
Yeah, very bad start for Herman as well. He started P number 3 right now, has dropped all the way down the field and still is dropping. Luke Barton next up behind him, Massimo Locatello, and P number 10, Dave Martin.
Yeah, that's the battle right now. That's side by side. Locatello, Martin goes to the inside. Looks like he has the edge.
Luke was behind them.
Up there. Go ahead.
Luke was behind them. Johnny Edgar looking to get those positions. Started P number 15, is climbing all the way to the edge of P number 10. Johnny Edgar looking for the draft, and remember, he has that real-life racing experience, the background, that will be proving so crucial in those tough midfield battles, and he makes a move down to the inside on Massimo Locatello. Let's see if he can make it stick. Yes, he can. Drivers being very respectful with each other. Nobody taking room away from the other guy, but still racing hard, but racing clean, and that is always great to see. And Sean, I believe we have battles in front of them as well, Stephen Herman and Luke Barton.
We certainly do, and Barton getting the better of it right now as he makes the pass on Stefan Herman. Barton picking up a couple of spots here real quick. Herman not giving up on this one, though. Right up under the wing. Just in front of them, you've got Wedeking and Fabian Siegman going through the same thing, and now we've got a big 4-car battle as Barton has closed the gap.
He has, and behind them, Alexander Rehn and Massimo Locatello right now looking to battle between each other as well. Alexander Rehn looking to make a move down the inside and does stick it actually, but Locatello is still out there, and the door wasn't completely closed by Rehn. I think he would have had the opportunity, but he was being a fair driver, left him space, and as a result of that, Locatello able to retain the lead in that back, but once again, we head to the long main straight, and remember, we are doing this 30 times today, and each and every time these F3 cars come to the main straight, each and every time there is a chance for an overtake. Johnny Edgar and Dave Martin side by side.
Yeah, and this is a big battle for 11th place. A bit of a logjam as all the cars scramble down into the turn. Rain to the outside, gets a little too wide. Oh boy, everybody trying to get through. There goes Williams. Raika and Polic gets through.
Yeah, that is the annoying thing when you are in a big battle pack like this. You make one mistake and then everybody passes you. You lose like 4 or 5 positions and then you just get frustrated. Locatello almost loses it there. Oh man, that was a nice save. He got a little bit too much curb right on the inside and then just, went sideways, but that was a very, very nice save.
A very nice save. As we look at it here on the replay real quick. And that, boy, the first real big incident we've seen, and it wasn't that big. Of course, you see some parts flying off there in the background. But we've recovered here. Lolum, of course, still ahead of Rasmussen. It's just under a second.
Yeah, just under a second last time by Chris Lolum. Did a 127.0. Niklas Rasmussen responding with a 127.2. Let's see it his time by Chris Lolum. Once again 127.0. And Rasmussen, let's see his lap time next time by 127.1. So actually Chris Lolum in the lead did almost identical lap times 2 times by. And then we have, moving back the field, we have Johnny Edgar, who just made it by Dave Martin as well. So he is mounting a challenge, and look at the battle pack in front of them. Yeah. All the way from Luke Barton to Stefan Hermann. So that means that Edgar will have a chance to catch these guys up, and meaning he is in a battle for P number 4 soon enough. But Siegman looking for his opportunity to make it past Barton. Let's see if he can do it, Sean.
We'll take the look to the inside here, or to the outside as we get through the turn. Siegman having to hang on to it from Wedeking. Wedeking going to look on the inside now.
Yeah,
and
that's the
thing. It switches back.
That's the thing, you gotta time your attacks. They are still side by side, but the thing is, Siegman wasn't quite sure enough in his overtake. He got a little bit wide. He wasn't looking in his mirrors, and as a result of that, Wedeking makes them move through and takes that P number 5 away, and Siegman has to be angry within his helmet for making that mistake. He wasn't sure enough to make an overtake, and when you move for an overtake in a battle pack like this, you have to make it count, Sean.
And Edgar has closed the gap because of this battling. He's got it down to 1.3 seconds. And Edgar having a challenge right now from Dave Martin, who got up in the slipstream and comes around as they head to the line.
Yeah, very good battles in front of them as well. Let's follow this one. Oh, Dave Martin making it very clean around downside. Edgar trying it back on the inside and slips through. That was very cheeky from Johnny Edgar there. Braking a little bit later, letting off the brakes just enough to take the line away from Dave Martin, and it's a clean move. And back ahead in front of them. Wow. This looks spicy.
Very spicy here as Wedeking comes around. It's a fight into the turn.
Oh,
and here comes Stefan Hermann. He was just back there riding in the popcorn position, minding his own business, and now he's well into the fight.
And almost makes it through there as well. Wedeking, I think, had to avoid Fabian Siegman earlier a little bit. You saw Wedeking making a little bit of a move towards the outside in the corner, just trying to avoid hitting him, and lost his line a little bit, and as a result came under threat from Stefan Hermann as well. So now Fabian Siegman is in P number 5 in that battle, and Luke Barton all of a sudden running away from him.
Yeah, Barton seems to have needed that clean air to get away from the pack, and now he's picked up 4 positive positions on the chase for Mitch Kaiser, and that's someone we've not even talked about at all. Michi Kaiser right now having a very, very quiet 3rd place run. that currently finds himself just a second behind the action for the lead as Lolum continues to stay on his charge.
And once again, the same thing happened between Dave Martin and Johnny Edgar. Picture perfect. It was like 2 laps, the same thing. Dave Martin being able to move on the slipstream, get past ahead Dave Martin, and then Johnny making a move on turn number 1 to take the position back. They are still side by side, as are the cars in front of them.
Yeah, now all of a sudden here we've got a few laps under our feet, and everybody wanting to take some time off. We got a car wide there. Was that Dave Martin actually? It was.
That was Edgar.
That was Edgar. That was wide.
Yeah, he was very late on the brakes in the corner, and then Johnny Edgar just trying to get it ahead of Dave Martin. Well, he succeeded, but he also ran the exit of the corner very wide, and very cheeky to be able to do that, but you have to be careful because outside of the track, usually very bumpy, and with these cars, they don't take bumps very well, but here comes Edgar. Oh, he's making some very... Oh, no!
Contact with Wedeking.
Oh, no. You don't want to do that. I was just saying, bit cheeky maybe on the brakes, late on the brakes for Edgar, and he just pushed Wedeking a little bit wider, so that not what you want to see.
And big damage for Herman as well. That was the car to the inside that was stopped, and Herman definitely picked up some injury there. Look to see if he's going to pull off into the pits here as he comes around. And maybe not as much damage as we thought, as Herman is going to keep going here.
Yeah. And Herman, hopefully he can make it back, but right now with all those incidents, the only incident in last couple of laps actually, with that incident, it's Jose Soria battling with Dave Martin for P number 7 all of a sudden. So Locatello and Edgar behind him.
Yeah, and Edgar just makes the pass. Locatello on the brakes, on the binders there. He's around. No contact. He's back underway. We've got a replay of it here. Massimo Locatello right in the middle of all of this. The Italian driver in the number 27, the black and yellow car on screen here.
Yeah, what happened there is that he went a little bit too fast into the corner on the outside. He ran out of grip, and then instead of trying to save it, he realized it was gone, and he just locked the brakes and did the wise thing of, minimizing his losses. So half a spin there, but he is already underway and is right now in that battle pack for what I believe is P number 15 now.
Yeah, he's in a Hornet's nest back there, but Chris Lolum coming around for another lap. That's 8 laps in the books, or starting lap number 8 for Chris Lolum, and he has now opened it up to almost 2 seconds on Nicholas Rasmussen, who himself is having a magnificent drive as he continues to pull away from Michi Kaiser. But again, watch out for Michi Kaiser. Michi Kaiser going to be back there to pick it up if needed. Jose Soria in a battle with Dave Martin right now, and Jose just getting by. They had been going back and forth, but it's Soria with the pass on Dave.
It is, let's say, Dave Martin come back. He battled with Johnny Edgar a few laps ago, and he can see Johnny in his mirrors, and Dave Martin looking to make a move on the inside with Jose on the outside. They are still side by side, and lapped car in front of them in form of Ryan Turif. So let's see if he's going to put some tariffs on that battle. Dave Martin on the outside, and very late move, but ultimately lost it a little bit, and Johnny Edgar is going to make a move on him also. And let's see if Johnny Edgar is going to actually catch Jose Soria hands down. No, he didn't, because there was a lapped car, but you can easily make that move. If someone is focusing on a lapped car, if you're feeling adventurous, and if you trust the other driver, then you can make an adventurous move and really try to take 2 positions on one go. This time, Johnny Edgar not really successful at that, but he is feeling very brave here today, and he is also possibly the best driver on the brakes in the entire field. I've been following him, Sean, all race long in terms of braking zones, in terms of how late he is able to rotate that car into the corner, and he may not have the top speed, but he surely has that braking ability, and that will come very crucial.
Yes, it will, and Edgar really looks to continue to try and push the issue.
Whoa! That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And it leaves Dave Martin back there now to deal with Elias Reika. Reika with a move of his own.
Oh, that will be very interesting indeed behind them. So will be Elias Raika trying to make moves side by side with Dave Martin. Let's see him climb into the top 10, the Finnish driver, and able to get by on the inside. So all of a sudden, Laulu Raika in Finland and Elias Raika back in top 10. That means the singing goes on.
Well, a lot of these drivers are moving their way up through the field pretty swiftly. Here goes Dave to the inside.
Ooh, nice move, but he compromised himself on the exit of that corner. So let's see Elias make a move into Junchao. Let's see if he can pull it off. Inside there and trying it. Dave leaving him room, actually being very generous, leaving him room. A lot of drivers would have just blocked the inside, but as a result of that, Dave is able to keep the position. Elias is right on the slipstream with Clark Williams and Filippo Volpe as well looking to join into that one. So Dave Martin all of a sudden has to defend his position. Elias comes back again.
And, much like qualifying, this has really been the competitive part of the field that we're watching here, Austin. It's really been where all the fighting's been. Martin and Raika continue to go at it. And look at Clark Williams coming in right behind us. He goes to the inside.
Oh, could be 3 wide actually, because Clark has a very good run. He was able to get that corner clean, and let's see if he can clear up Elias. Oh, he had a room, but he didn't want to go there, so he instead backs out of it, and Elias is able to get back ahead of him. Clark coming back again. Clark, of course, a single-seater expert, so
did you
these
see
guys are just battling.
Filippo Volpe getting in really, really deep on that one?
I'm not surprised. These guys are battling.
Really, 7 cars in the thick of it right here.
Oh, Erkka! Erkka! No!
Lindstrom.
You don't want to break that late.
Oh, he does. He breaks late. He loses a couple of positions because of it. Erkka Lindstrom, though, up 10 spots already. Finds a little trouble here. Almost big trouble here, Ossian.
Yeah, Erkka Lindström just, I think, surprised by how early that back had to break into the corner, losing his braking point, didn't possibly see it, and tried to make it up to the inside to avoid everyone. Unfortunately, couldn't avoid the right rear of Clark Williams, and I will be now focusing on Clark to see if he has any significant damage or not. That right rear took quite a bump, but it looks alright so far, even though he has lost a little bit of ground to Dave Martin and Elias Raika in front of him.
We're definitely starting to get some action up front. Michi Kaiser, who we talked about, was having a pretty quiet race. It's not quiet anymore. Luke Barton has found him. Barton's moved up a hearty 4 spots here. 11 laps in, and he has now found the rear wing. Michi Kaiser.
Yeah, and Michi is under some real pressure from Luke Barton right now. These guys all qualifying very well, but Luke Barton really in the top 5 has been the only significant mover. You're looking at Chris started from pole, Niklas started from 2nd, Michi started from P4, up 1 position. Luke Barton started P8, up 4 positions so far, and looking to make that 5.
And we said pit stops aren't really going to be a factor in this one today, so this is all pace. This is attack, and a very, very little off throttle here, especially on the race to the finish line. Barton continues to close well into the slipstream now.
Yeah, but he's not closing up quite enough, and he's actually doing almost the same speed as Michi Kaiser in front of him. He wasn't doing significantly faster. Of course, Michi Kaiser has a little bit of slipstream from Rasmussen as well in front of him, but Michi Kaiser looking to have a lower downforce setup than Luke Barton here. You can see Luke really gaining time on the exit of those fast corners, so that's something to keep an eye on here. And as a result of that, I'm thinking he is going to make a late braking move in that infield sector, hopefully early, and then looking to make enough ground so Michi can't catch him on that long main straight.
Well, a good run there, and it continues to be a problem. And all of a sudden, they've caught Rasmussen as well. That's down to less than a second. He is now inserted into this battle. This is what was a battle for P3 is now a battle for the heart of the podium.
It is indeed 2 position spots for 3 guys in this battle. as they look to go forward. Niklas Rasmussen having some difficulties this lap on the corner exits. Actually, he is looking to he's understeering off just a little bit, trying to make those tires last. Remember, even though the track temp is only 21 degrees Celsius, that is whatever degrees in Fahrenheit. So he is really having to make these tires last for 30 laps, and that is longer than these tires usually have to last. So it's one thing to factor into the consideration as this race continues to go on, continues to go forward. And already we are seeing drivers having to try a lot harder. But last time by, Niklas Rasmussen with a 126.9, actually for the first time making it for the second time making it under 127 in this race, of course with a little bit of an off track, and was actually faster than Chris Lala.
Sorry, we just had a big move down into turn 1 by Filippo Volpe, overtaking Clark Williams. A big late dive, locking the brakes up, and Filippo Volpe up to 11th.
Oh, he came out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm just looking
really
at that.
Did. And fortunately, we do have a replay of this. Hats off to our director for pulling that. Here we go. The dive into one. Felipe Volpe in the yellow car, the yellow and white machine.
Yeah, so he's really doing Club Italy proud with that one, going very late on the inside, very brave on the brakes, and looking to challenge Johnny Edgar for the best late breaker in this race award. Really. I hope that's not a too tight of a contest, because you know how those late breaks usually end, but good job from Felipe for keeping his line somewhat in that one, and good job as well to Stephen Herman, another driver, Clark Williams, for keeping out of the way and really not looking to make an accident out of that one, because you can really easily make an accident on the outside as well. Of course, it's the fault of that driver on the inside, but it doesn't help you too much if you're on the wall. And P number 2, I believe.
Yeah, no, Kaiser and Barton, I think. So we see Barton just got by Volpe. No, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
No, Herman just got by Volpe and Clark Williams following behind them. So Herman using that slipstream to some really good effect and getting by on the inside into turn number 1. And in front of them we have actually Fabian Stigman and Michi Kaiser right now in P number 4 and 5 with Luke Barton running away from them.
And on Sigmund now, as he tries to find an opportunity here on Kaiser. Kaiser, one of the early hopefuls here, had a lot of clean track for a long time, for about 10 laps of this race, but not anymore. He's dropped back to 4th. Barton was able to take that away, and now Sigmund looks for his piece of real estate. He had a Junsao and up to the main straight and to the start-finish line. Sigmund looks to maybe pull out here in the slipstream as they battle up in front of him.
Yeah, in front of them there is a lapped car, and I think Luke Barton got confused with Soren Eriksen in his intentions trying to go to the inside, but Sigmund and Kaiser right now.
Ooh, it's Sigmund on it really hard there. Kaiser, unfortunately, looking at another spot disappear.
Yeah, but he just might still get it back. I think Michi Kaiser right now, he had a bad lap last time by because he was battling so much, and he's in some real trouble actually in those corners, unable to follow through. I will be looking at him a couple of corners, try to see what's up with that car, because it looks to me like it's a little bit ill handling. He can't quite get it turned in the corners the way he wants. Maybe he's cooked tires a little bit, has to cook them, has to let them cool down a little bit, maybe something else. Remember, these cars do use the new version 7 tire model, so that could be something to get used as well in this phase of the race.
You know, we've talked a lot about what's going on in the first half of the field. Let's drop back a little bit further. Battle for P16 right now that sees Loic Barbie, Angelo Melee, and Ivan Zyrano all locked up here. And all those drivers have come forward. Barbie, 12 spots, and Melee, 13 spots for him. But it's Melee right now that looks to make the move here.
Yeah. Angelo Miele. Oh, spins! Not that kind of move. Not that kind of move.
That's an unfortunate turn of events there for Angelo Mele.
Yeah, he
Oh,
just
jeez.
locked up the rear, going into the braking, trying to make it as late as possible, and spun into the outside of Yun Chao, and didn't quite do a Kimi Räikkönen of trying to look for the alternate pass back into the racing surface, but still a bit of an unfortunate spin for him, and well, that's gonna really hinder his chances, but he was doing really well up until that, and those battles in the midfield will be still continuing, but I think we should right now take a little bit of a gander to Jose Soria, because he's been able to run away from drivers behind Johnny Edgar and others. And I'm looking at him, and he is doing really well. 127.1 last time by. Dennis Wedeking in P number 6, 27.8. Michi Kaiser, 28.2. So all of a sudden, Jose Soria is really looking to make some hay here. He could be up to P5 even by the time this thing is over.
That's a really solid observation, because honestly, his lap times right now absolutely make him one of the fastest cars in the field. He's doing it with a little bit of clean track. Edgar has fallen off, and I think that honestly has to do with that incident that we saw. I think there's some damage on that car that we're not seeing, that he's dealing with, and just really minding the gap right now. They're in 8th. But Soria, the one on the move, in fact, Wedeking, going to be looking out of his mirror soon. Maybe not from that last lap, but I'd say on overall pace, Soria right now looking really, really good to get there to Dennis Wedeking up at P6.
Yeah, he is, and he's been able to really pull out consistent lap times and good lap times. Last time by was a little bit worse, but aside from that, lap traffic aside, he is really, really on a good pace, and that's a bit of a surprise to me, because Jose, I know him as a fast driver, but I don't know him as quite that fast of a driver, so maybe he is looking to level up, who knows, maybe he went to some Super Saiyan training or something, looking to unleash that power in this race.
Maybe so. Well, Chris Lolum has made this an exciting race for him. We haven't put a lot of camera time to him, but this driver, who you said, Ocean, has not been on iRacing that long, has already amassed a 6,199 iRating, which makes him one of the highest rated drivers in the field. He's done it in short order, and generally when we see that, we understand that if you're good in the real world, then you're probably pretty good on the sim, and Chris is definitely showing that today as he continues to outpace Nicholas Rasmussen, although Rasmussen still with the ability to turn the high 126 laps. He did it on the last one, a 126.8 for him. So Rasmussen still with plenty of pace as he does continue to pull away from Luke Barton. Barton not catching him quite as quickly as we thought he would.
Yeah, and I think it's a great career opportunity for Chris Lolum as well. He is leading this race, comfortable 3-second gap behind him. Nicholas Rasmussen, they're trading lap times back and forth. Chris is able to control this race, keep this race really at his own pace, really following the Jackie Stewart advice of, try to control the race from the lead and follow that gap. And if you see someone trying to attack, you have to attack back on the next lap to keep them on a leash, so to speak, to keep them away, and that way you can just drive into the victories. It sounds easier than it is, but he's really following that advice. But Chris Lolum, if he keeps this going, he will attract some attention from real life, no doubt about that. He is beating some very good drivers, Johnny Edgar, Elias Seppänen, for example, very comfortably here, and he is someone who is very much on a level where he can challenge those guys who usually do Formula 3, the guys like Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, who are sometimes seen there. Imagine beating Max Verstappen on iRacing and, Lando Norris on iRacing on the same race, on the level playing field. That is something to put on your CV.
Here's the battle for P10 going on screen right now. They just made it through some traffic back down out of Junsal, and you'll see it in the distance back there, but right now Elias Raika holding off Stefan Herman.
Yeah, and you got Filippo Volpe behind them. Don't forget about
Yeah,
Filippo.
I
He was
can't.
able to make those
Yeah.
late moves earlier on, and if he catches up to those guys, if those guys start battling, he might take them both under the same braking zone. Clark Williams and Luca Varani as well, looking to join those battles. Actually, Massimo Locatello and Luca Varani are having their own little scrap for
Yes, they
P number
are.
14 behind them, so it's really tight.
Yeah, and Locatello, of course, had trouble early, has dropped back quite a bit, but it's Varani that's picked up quite a few spots in this race. We've talked very, very little about the organizer and host of this event. Is a little trouble in front of Luca. That's Zoltan Pelivas. And Luca is off the track now. Fortunately, I don't think he picked up any damage there. He gets it back together. And I am on a bad streak here, Austin. I can't talk about a driver without something bad happening at this point.
It's the commentator's curse coming to life.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It absolutely is, so that is very unfortunate for him, but battles do have to go on, race goes on. I think it's usually when we pick up drivers, it is a high chance they are in a battle, and that's why you see a higher amount of incidents involving drivers we pick up, because when you are close to another car, there is a higher chance of you just having an incident. So I think it's a game of chance. I don't think we commentators have magic powers. If we do, that would be awesome, but I don't think I have magic powers.
All right, I'm going to go with you on that. I'm going to go with you on that, indeed. Oh, P3 really, it's Fabian Sigmund. It makes the approach there.
Yeah, it's Soren Eriksen being lapped in front of them, and they're just trying to make it past Soren. And Soren giving room. Oh, going a little bit wide was Luke Barton there, and as a result of that, Fabian Sigmund is going to have to get a little bit closer even, or has the chance to get a little bit closer. Now, Luke Barton missing the apex on Yun Chao, and that means Fabian is having a really good chance here, Sean. He goes to the outside.
Cars, of course, look very similar. I don't think they're teammates, but boy, the racing here indeed at the line. Looks like Sigmund going to get the best of it. Is Barton going to make a late dive? He does. Drives it in deep and loses it. Loses the handle on it. Sigmund able to get free. There's
Very nice
Kaiser
move.
just behind him.
Yeah, very nice move. Soren Eriksen still between Michi Kaiser and Luke Barton. I think Soren will... Soren looks to the inside of Luke Barton there for a moment. Now, he is some laps down. He's in P number 44. 3 laps down, so I'm not sure what Soren is thinking there. Maybe he's just, being a nice guy, making his presence known, and then giving room to Michi Kaiser behind him. So, he may be trying to avoid running into the back of them or something. Who knows?
And just a quick update, unfortunately, Luca Varani picked up some damage on that incident. He did have to bring the car in for his fast repair.
Oh, P number 10. P number 10, it's Stefan Hermann and Elias Raika making light contact heading into turn number 5. So Elias losing the position this time by, and they're making light contact and still battling. So a little bit of an update from there as well.
It was Herman with the big move, and like you said, they did a little bit of wheel banging there, a little bit of contact between the two. But it is now Herman that has started to pull away from Raika. And this, we have talked about this battle for P10 all day. No one has seemed to really want it. Herman has fallen back there, and everybody behind him chasing. Back up front, though, Barton and Sigmund continue to go at it. Barton just gets back by him.
Wow, that was awesome, Sean. And now Sigmund looking to make that big move down to the inside. Makes the move and not being left a lot of room at all.
Oh, Interlagos is so close. Interlagos side by side out of the turn. Ossian, again, we find ourselves in the closing laps of this race, and this has been an amazing run. Very few incidents. Now the traffic in front of the battle.
Yeah, traffic in front of the battle, and Tarif making it very well clean. Actually spinning himself in the process. No! Gets collected by Michi Kaiser. That was so tragic. and Tarif just leaving them a little bit too much room, going too far to the left, and he lost it on the braking. He didn't do that on purpose by any means, you know. That was just an honest accident, and Michi Kaiser being really unlucky, being unable to see that, just trying to take the racing line, and that's so unfortunate. And spare a thought for poor Ryan Turif. He absolutely meant no harm, wanted to be out of the way, and as a result of that, he takes the man on P number 5 out.
And
Kaiser.
Kaiser, his car is hurt. He's done from competing. He's going to go straight to the safety of the pit lane and look for that spare car from the garage. They've got it ready for him, but unfortunately, that is going to end his chances of winning this race. The battle between Barton and Sigmund continues.
Yeah, Sigmund looking to the outside. Barton was able to defend his position on turn number 1. He's again able to defend here, but let's see what Sigmund will do. He's looking to the outside, looking to the inside. This is Fabian Villeneuve versus Luke Arnoux right now. Here battling for that P number 3. Of course, in real life, it was P number 2, but it feels like the same. They're side by side all around. Sigmund looking to the inside, trying to make the move. Oh, They touch, Sean, and that was an unfortunate end to what was a wonderful battle.
Oh, it really, really was. Luke gets by and says, you are not my father, Fabian. And Fabian around and unfortunately gives up a lot of spots in the process.
Yeah.
He got a little bit of damage up there on the wing. You saw the wing rattle on the car.
Yeah,
One more time at it.
Yeah, the problem was, as you can see coming here, it was that one car was so much to the inside, you know, he was so far to the inside, he was never going to make that corner. He was never going to make that corner turning in there. It was so sharp for him and Luke Barton. And for Fabian on the outside, he was just trying to pinch Luke as tight as possible, trying to, you know, minimize his room to get that place on the exit of the corner. Probably he would have had the inside onto the next one. He was trying to pinch in a little bit and their lines just collided, you know, one car getting a little wide on the apex, other car just pinching in on the outside. Call that turning into him, call that running wide. I call that a racing incident, and unfortunately one of those things that will just happen when you're racing this close.
An incident between two teammates, as I'm seeing here on Alex Johnson is on the YouTube chat, that NHR Esports. I had a feeling they were teammates, but got a little too close and probably cost themselves a nice maybe 3-4, 2-3 finish. But right now it's still Chris Lullum that is in charge of the race. Johnny Edgar back here now really got a battle with Dave Martin, and Martin we've probably not talked about enough. The UK&I driver really had a solid run today. Edgar, of course, has come up through the field, but had trouble early and has been fighting what we think is a damaged car. But Dave Martin here is continuing to impress, and now he's got Edgar in his sights, and with a little bit of slipstream, maybe a chance to make a move down here in turn 1. We're about to see. This is as close as Martin's been here in several laps. He moves to the outside. They got traffic right in front of him. Got to be careful here.
Remember, Johnny under brakes. Here we go. Oh! Wow! You don't brake later than that. You don't do that. You don't do that, Johnny. You just don't mug someone under braking like that. That was incredible. So he just absolutely stomped on the brakes. We saw that earlier on in this race. Dave Martin getting easily past Johnny Edgar on the outside. Johnny saying, nope.
Edgar into Ericsson! Edgar into Ericsson! Just ran him over. Ericsson was just up in front of that. Edgar just totally misses the braking zone or missed the brake pedal or something.
No, I think he was braking very late. He was trying to get it turned in. The problem is that also he wasn't expecting Soren Eriksen braking very early to that one. We look at the speed of Soren Eriksen, 127 km an hour at that point. Andrew Flint was doing over 130, and you're normally doing 150 there almost. Jose Soria was ahead of them, so it was a combination of two factors. He was trying to brake very late on the outside, and Soren was a little bit slow.
And he was, and of course, making it look like he just thoroughly got run over. The difference is speed there.
Yeah.
What a major shunt there for Edgar, who was, again, managing a car that probably wasn't handling perfectly, but was still having a great run. He still hangs on to 8th place and is going to go in for what is going to be his spare car. He hasn't been in previously.
Yeah, that's such an unfortunate end to wonderful race from Johnny Edgar, and a great battle too. So Dave Martin finding all of a sudden that he's all by himself with a couple of flat cars behind him, and Fabian Sigman next one to try and get a sight on him, as in front of him Jose Soria still tries to battle on, taking some liberties, so to speak, with the racing lines, getting very wide indeed in Curva de Sol. So very interesting battles here, and it's spread out a little bit on the front at this current moment. But we still have a chance with some laps to go, with 5 laps to go, to get some battles. And we also have Elias Raika and Massimo Locatello and Filippo Volpe very close to each other, and Elias Raika finding himself in P number 9 last time by and trying to make it past who is Soren Eriksen actually on the outside.
There's Ericsson again, and he's near a battle. Be careful here, gentlemen. But they've got a good battle of their own going on, as Locatello is minding the gap here, and Volpe back there making his way up. These drivers have all had a solid run. Locatello in the slipstream of Raika.
Yeah, he is, and Locatello trying to catch up to him. Elias Raika last time by 1:27.7. Of course, that doesn't matter much. 2:39 going across the line versus 2:45 for Massimo Locatello. So catching up a little bit is Massimo on that slipstream. Elias getting a little bit sideways too on turn number 1. You can see the tires of these cars don't look to be on a very healthy state right now, especially not if you've been late braking all throughout the race. But Elias trying to hold on to the P number 9 for his dear life, and Massimo Locatello, tell you what, he is very, very hungry for just one more position. It's not Macht ein Bier, it's Macht ein Platz for Massimo Locatello, with Elias Raika trying to defend on. Sean, Elias doing a very good job so far, but we'll see if he can hold on to the end.
Locatello looks very, very racy, very capable. You know, up in front of them, Soria, Wedding has had a problem.
Oh yeah, he spun. Very, very curious to see what happened there. Single car incident by the looks of things.
Looks like I think he cracked the egg. Yeah. Honestly, I think he got back to the throttle a little hot here.
And what happened there is that he bounced up on the curb on the inside. That upset the rear tires. The rear tires got up into the air as he was on the throttle, and then when you come back to the ground, they spin a little bit faster, and he just spins around. Very lazy spin, and not much you can do about that. That is a very frustrating feeling for a driver, especially as he was running on P number 4 with 3.5 laps to go. Now he's P number 7 with 3 laps to go.
And just behind him, Locatello just gets by Raika. Locatello pulls it off, going at it at turn 1.
Yeah, but let's see if Raika can make that move back. Locatello defending up to the inside, looking to take the middle of the track. Raika looking to the outside. Let's see if he can switch back to the inside before the corner. No, he's locked into the outside, trying to get a better exit. Locatello defending very well indeed, and not running wide at all. So doing a really good job of defending the position from Elias Raika. And with that, Massimo Locatello now P number 9. Elias Raika relegated down to P number 10 with Filippo Volpe possibly looking to catch them up in the later portions of this race, as is Clark Williams.
I think this has been a good show for Locatello, who we've repeated several times, had trouble early, has fought back to right where he qualified now, and he got a little ways to go to catch Stefan Herman with just a couple laps left. And let's talk about that now as Chris Lolum comes across the line with 2 laps to go. This has been Lolum's race since the start. He's now opened it up to over 5 seconds on Nicholas Rasmussen. And Lolum, as I said, it's just been in command since the beginning. It's been clean. He's managed to get through traffic with very, very little trouble. And has definitely shown his worth as a driver here on the iRacing service today here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Not an easy track, folks. If you haven't tried this one or purchased it, you want a challenge? Purchase Interlagos on the iRacing service, folks. You need this one in your deck.
Yeah, you absolutely do. It's one of the essentials that we tell in Finland for new drivers to purchase as well, along the likes of Watkins Glen and Spa-Francorchamps and Nürburgring. And his drive has been absolute masterclass here today. You know, absolutely world class from Chris Lolum. no mistakes today. Absolutely blistering pace. Niklas Rasmussen, the only one who's been able to even stay within sights of him. Of course, they battled behind him, but take nothing away from Chris Lallam. He's en route to a wonderful victory. And behind them, though, battles still continue to go on. Dennis Verking now under pressure from Stefan Hermann for P number 7 shot.
Yeah, and I went back and flipped to that real quickly because they've got some traffic in front of him, and Herman is really, really close. The gap to Wedeking here. They'll come across the line with 1 lap to go.
And with 1 lap to go, you still can't quite tell of who is going to end up with that P number 7, or is it going to be either of them? We got some lap traffic getting graciously out of the way in front of them. I mean, you never know. It's the last lap of the race, so it's gonna be battle on from here on out. We hope for a fair battle, but Stefan Hermann and of course Dennis Wedeking, both of them starting a little bit ahead of their current positions. Both have Stefan Hermann starting in P number 3, Dennis Wedeking starting in P number 6.
Blake Poland gets out of the way, and now this battle really, really close. Herman has found it. Herman with his last chances here at it.
Oh, Wedeking trying to defend and successfully defending on the inside. Let's see if they can make a move in that infield section. We should also pay attention to our leader soon going to cross the line, but let's see if Herman can make that move. Stuck on the inside. No, he's not going to go for it. He's not going to go for it on the inside. So Chris Lallam, Sean, take it away.
Yeah, and the leader now, Adajun Sao, and up to the 200 boxes, all the way to the start-finish line here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, the winner here at the Formula Giving Race for Vimala. Chris Lallam, the UK&I driver, sporting that hefty 61.99 I rating, gets the win. Nicholas Rasmussen, the Scandinavian second. Luke Barton with a great run up the straightaway. He'll take P3. Jose Soria, Dave Martin, Sigmund and Wedeking and Herman. That battle unfortunately has disappeared. It's going to be Wedeking with 7th, 8th, going to go to Herman. Massimo Locatello holds off Elias Reike for P10.
Yeah, P15 is still kind of close between Florian Bunchuk and David Soranzo, 2 drivers. Florian making an amazing climb from P35 to P number 15, and looks like he is able to hold on David behind him all the way to the line. But Sean, it's gonna be well, it's not gonna be quite that close. I was expecting David to start gaining on him a little bit more on the straight, but Fabian, what a drive for him. We got a lot of risers and fallers in this race, and a couple of drivers with absolutely amazing climbs. On the top 5, I think Luke, Jose, Dave, absolutely wonderful battles.
And I think one of the biggest movers in the race was Adam Talsma, the Canadian. We haven't even talked about him. He's going to come across the line in P20. He started 48 in this race, so hats off to Adam on a great one. Still drivers coming across the line. We will take this to a quick break and be right back with the complete results, a couple of driver interviews, and the drawing going on here. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Global SimRacing Channel and the race for Vimala. Welcome back to the Global SimRacing Channel. And you just saw the Formula Giving race for Vimala. Of course, we're racing for charity today for the kids in Vimala, and all the details are down in the description of this broadcast here on YouTube. Folks, if you're not watching us on YouTube, go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. On December 21st, we're giving all of our subscribers a chance to win an item from our merchandise store. Also, a link for that down in the description of this broadcast. Let's look at the results today. For the race for Vimala, Chris Lolum gets the big win. Gets it going away. Nicholas Rasmussen second for him. Luke Barton third. Jose Soria fourth. Dave Martin fifth. Fabian Siegman sixth. Dennis Wedeking seventh. Stefan Herman will finish eighth. Massimo Locatello ninth, and 10th goes to Elias Reika.
And in P number 11, it's Clark Williams, Johnny Edgar finishing in P number 12, Loic Barbet finishing in P number 13 with Angelo Miele. After an amazing climb, P number 14, Florian Bunchuk, P number 15, a good climb from him as well. David Soranzo, P16, Jose Manuel Casado Gil in 17th, Erkka Lindström, 18th, Massimiliano Pesavento, 19th, Adam Telsmat, 20th, with even Suranau and Frank Mutze finishing in the lead lap as well, and Sean, rest of the drivers scrolling through, finishing either one lap or over down or retired from the race. 55 drivers in total, and I believe you have a couple of words to add for the cause, the wonderful cause of this race. I mean, such a wholesome event, such an important event for the kids there as well, and doing it for a great cause.
Yes, in fact, and we appreciate today's sponsors, iRacing, VRS, Heusinkveld, and the Lions Club of Monteceneri, and all the work that Sister Bertilla is doing there in Mumbai with all the children and of course the Vimala Center, and keeping it running. And again, the donations you can find all of that information at the formulagiving.com website. Formulagiving.com, real easy to find, folks. We do have a drawing coming up here for the drivers in just a moment, but let's talk now to our winner, Chris Lolum. Chris, congratulations, buddy. It all started with an amazing drop of the green flag, which saw you jump out to over a second there by about the second turn. Talk to us a little bit about the track and your race.
Yeah, no, the start was really good. I got a really good launch with a good clutch application, which just gave me the gap I needed to be safe after lap one, and then maintained the gap at around 2 to 3 seconds for majority of the race until he made a few small mistakes, and then I just kept that gap for the rest of the race. He put me under a lot of pressure early on, though.
Chris, what's on your calendar for 2020, if you could summarize it real quick for us?
Honestly, not much, because I don't have a lot of time to practice with school and whatnot, but I do hope to be doing maybe some Pro Series or looking for a team as well to do that with. But yeah, I hope to maybe do some F3 as well, but I think it'll be a good season.
And we're definitely probably going to see a lot more of you here on iRacing, aren't we?
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, Chris, it was great to see you on track today, and we're going to catch up with our second place finisher now and hang around because we've got a drawing coming up here in just a moment. But Ossian has caught up with Nicholas Rasmussen.
Well, hello, Nicholas. P number 2 out here for you today in the Formula Giving event. You had a great battle of lap times there, but not quite able to pull it off. How was it out there for you today?
Actually, the first part of the race was quite a struggle for me. I never really felt like I had the car underneath me. I was locking tires left, right, and center. Couldn't get the balance right. Sort of sorted it out around lap 13, 14. And at that point, I was just able to push as much as I could, had confidence back. So it was good fun out there. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to have been able to get Chris, but he totally deserved the win today. Great race from him, so good to see that.
Yeah, Nicholas, of course, you do a little bit of karting, and there were a couple of others real-life racers as well in the field. How was it to be driving in such a high-level event? It's been a long time since Formula the Grand Prix, iRacing Grand Prix series closed off. You were a mainstay there, did really well on the Grand Prix series. How was it to be back on open wheelers in a big event and race against some big names as well?
This is why I sim race. Quite clearly, it was really good to be back. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, I can come race in many more of these events in the future. That's why I sim race, as I said before. Nothing else like it. So I gotta thank Luca and everybody, all the sponsors for making this event happen. And thank the competitors, like every competitor, for showing up as well.
Well, Nicholas, one last question. What's on your calendar for 2020?
Yeah, I think now it's a good time to announce that I will be racing with Last Lap Motorsports in the iRacing IndyCar series for 2020 to try and get back into some high-level open wheelers. Also, I will still be present in F3 with NHR Esport, more as a test driver, but of course I want to run in these events here as well, to be quite honest, because yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm not going nowhere.
Well, that's very good to hear. Lycka till, Niklas, for 2020, and see you out there. Thank you for the
Yes.
interview.
See ya, man. Thanks for the broadcast.
Yeah,
All right,
no
I'll see you.
sweat.
And we're going to get right to Luca Verani. Luca, another great Formula Giving Race for Vimala event. I know you weren't maybe thrilled with your race personally, but why don't we go ahead and get to the drawing here pretty quickly? And we're going to basically, what we're doing is we're going to spin the wheel for an opportunity for the drivers in this race to win some prizes. Thank you, Luca.
Hi guys, thank you for the
There's
broadcast
Luca.
once again.
Hey.
Yeah, some problem with the microphone, sorry. Please go ahead with the prices. We'll talk later.
All right, Luca, and the first number is up, and that is going to be 8.
Stefan Herman.
All right, and 3.
Luke Barton.
Okay, so what we've just drawn for is a couple drivers that finished in the top 10. And the first one is going to get 70. The second one is going to get 60 in iRacing credits.
Correct.
And the wheel has been spun again for a driver in the top 11 through 20. The number is 12. The number is 12. And
that's Johnny Edgar.
All right, Johnny Edgar. And 18 is the second number for someone in 11th through 20th. So the 18th place.
Erka Lindstrom.
Erka Lindstrom going to walk away with a little bit of money. All right, here we go. And now for 21 through 30th for $50 iRacing credits, it's going to be the number 26.
Filippo Volpe.
Volpe is going to win a little something. All right, now the second one for 21 through 30th here again. It is going to be the number
Zoltan Zomotor.
We had a couple of Zoltans. There we go. All right. Now, 31st through 40th. Again, $50 in iRacing credits for this one. Number 39.
Callum Wright.
Callum Wright. Okay. And this one will be for $40 in iRacing credits. 31st through 40th. 31.
That's me. So that goes to the charity.
All right. Luca wins again this year. All right. You got to.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row. I need to play the lotto.
Yeah. All right. At 41st through 60. This will be number 46. That's for $40 in iRacing. And that's the rest of the field.
Soren Eriksen.
And 48. There
That's
you go.
Alex Ren, although he didn't finish the race. So we can stop here. Thank you, guys.
All right, Luca. We want to.
So you needed to finish the race to qualify for the cash prizes.
Okay, so that was the one stipulation. You did have to finish the race. But Luca, we do want to thank you for organizing the Formula Giving Race for Vimala and, of course, contracting with us here at GSRC to broadcast it. You know, we also, real quickly, we want to remind everyone that next, in like 15 minutes here, less than 15 minutes, find us on the iRacing Esports Network for the SRF, the Weekend Warriors V-Runoffs Big Grid Race, 60 SRFs at Watkins Glen. Folks, join us there. And we also want to thank the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen now that we use on every broadcast here at GSRC, and of course the original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel is thanks to June Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact, get a hold of her. Great work We'll be talking to Lucas soon about plans for the next Formula Giving race, so stay tuned to our social media regarding details for the next one. Sliding across your screen now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out, mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, go to our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. Get with us on social media, Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook, Global Sim Racing Channel, Instagram, GSRC_Graham. Folks, subscribe to us and you may have a chance to win a little something on December 21st from us here at GSRC. On behalf of the entire crew, us and I'm Jed and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. For our old buddy Soup, we're going to go storm the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.